Hello friends, welcome back. Moving from terminologies to concepts so that we can take everything towards management of product. So, let us go ahead with our discussion wherein we were trying to build up our understanding around terms and terminologies. And here there are few terms which have a strong overlap to be taken as concepts also. So, although I refrained from introducing product innovation kind of thing as concepts, but here there are two elements at least which must be seen as terminologies as well as concepts with reference to product. You see, first is product positioning. One of the most important elements in marketing, most important element in relation to the existence of a product. Product positioning is the way consumers, users, buyers and others view competitive brands or types of products. And a beautiful description is given by Rees and Trout, wherein you see, as determined by market research techniques, the various products are plotted onto maps using product attributes as dimensions. This use of product positioning is perceptual and not necessarily valid as based on measured product attributes. How a consumer actually conceives a product. And when you are conceiving a product, that means putting up the image in the minds of the consumers, positioning a product, creating an image in the minds of the consumers. And that image can connote with a name, symbol, a product itself, or let us say a generic name also. For example, when you say a pair of jeans, now a particular name and a brand may come to your mind. That is where that brand might enjoy a particular positioning in resonance with the product, generic product itself. For example, one says calcium and one particular brand of calcium comes to your mind. One says protein supplement and one particular brand comes to you, and one says tea, a particular brand comes to you, and that is where positioning comes in. Or let us say when a symbol is brought to you, a name is brought to you, the image of the product comes to your mind. So, that is the perspective around positioning. It is an important thing, or should I say that actually it is one of the most important concentration points for marketers and product managers. How would this product stay in the minds of my customers? And we will be spending quite a bit of time on this concept later on when we will be talking about product management. Till then, just have this thing in mind and try and analyze, when someone says burger, what comes to your mind? When someone says McDonald's, what comes to your mind? So you look at it with several kinds of perspectives. When someone says school, a teacher comes to your mind, the school comes to your mind, the playground comes to your mind. What is coming to your mind? When someone says IIT, what comes to your mind? Technology comes to your mind. And is there any scope for management program? We have a very good management program at IIT Roorkee. So let us see how things are. Then product life cycle. You see, the 4 stages that a new product is thought to go through from birth to decline, where it vanishes off the surface, or should I say it completely changes the form. So, you see, those stages are related to introductory stage, growth stage, maturity and decline. You see, there are several thoughts around product life cycle perspective, that is it so predictable, or there are, what are those elements which drive a product's life cycle? We will be talking about that in detail. It is a wonderful concept propounded and propelled by Theodore Levitt, a very eminent management philosopher and a thinker of our times. So, you see, product life cycle has 4 premises, wherein one is products have a limited life, and I am not talking of brand here. When I say product life cycle, do not let your thoughts go away towards a particular kind of a name, because there you would find that name stays, product is no more there. So, we are talking of product here actually, and I will be elaborating that when I would be referring to product life cycle in detail for you. So, the second element of the 4 premises we have is this: product sales pass through distinct stages. Each stage has different implications for the seller. So, it is a marketer's and the seller's perspective which is associated with the life cycle of a product actually. Then profits from the product vary at different stages in the life cycle. Now, that is again to be discussed. And then product requires different strategies at different stages of the life cycle. Definitely it's a it has to be driven. So, it has to be driven with a different perspective in every stage of the life cycle, and we will be talking about, you see, when we talk of how it is introduced, how it grows, how it may stabilize or mature or stay at one point and then many products they go through a decline stage. And then I will be introducing several elements of some stages between introduction and growth, and how decline can be reversed, can it be done that way. So and there are several beautiful stories around that, there are beautiful examples on that, and till then just keep thinking on those terms. Till then just remember which of those products are there which you have seen after a long time. That is, they were there, they vanished for a while, they came back and they look like as if they are in a newer form. So, have you noticed these kind of products around you? If you have, then definitely they have rejuvenated those products, and we will be talking about that. So, you see, now let us go for an overview on product management. You see, according to the Association of International Product and Marketing Managers, it is such a big organization which keeps on talking about product management. They have their website, we have given the reference for you, you can think about that, you can visit that website and further go into the details. So, according to this organization, product management is the process of conceiving, planning, developing, testing, launching, delivering and withdrawing products from the market. Further, the Association of International Product and Marketing Managers suggests that it is an organizational function within a company dealing with the thoughtful and proactive management of a product or group of products throughout all the stages of product life cycle. That is how they describe product management. So, here we will be focusing upon the stages which they have given to us, and we will be talking about those stages a bit. But look at this second element, organizational function, dealing with thoughtful and proactive management of a product or group of products throughout all the stages of product life cycle, which we have just seen: introductory, growth, maturity, and even decline requires management. Now, you see, Professor Lehman in his book, which is very important contribution to the field of product management. So, that in that book he introduced product management from the perspective of product managers' duties, which are: first, the product manager is responsible for the planning activities related to the product or product line. So, that is how product manager conceives what a product would be and what the product line would be. That means where and how the product would emanate into a different form and variety, and we have talked about product line, and you see, that is what I was referring to. We introduced you with the terms, those terms are now emanating into concepts, and the concepts would be going towards our understanding towards the management, and I am sure that by this time when I am referring to product line as given in this book, you understand what I am talking about. So, You see, thus the product manager's job involves analyzing the market, including customers, competitors and the external environment, and turning this information into marketing objectives and strategies for the product. It is a composite statement. Believe me, this is the part of uh, most of the course ahead of us. That is what is product management is actually, and we will be talking about this in extensive detail. Second, the product manager must get the organization to support the marketing programs recommended in the plan. This may involve coordinating with other areas of the firm such as research and development for product line and product line extensions, manufacturing, marketing research and finance. It also involves internal marketing of the product to obtain the assistance and support of senior managers in the firm and so on. So, you see, this description with the perspective of responsibilities of a product manager actually describes product management. And keep your eyes on, when it says that the job involves analyzing the market, the whole scenario, including customers, obviously the king of the scenario, competitors and the external environment, the technological changes, the rules and regulations and so on. So many elements associated with that. Now, coming to the elements described by International Product and Marketing Managers Association, they talked about conceiving, planning, developing, testing, launching, delivering, withdrawing. And you see, that can be understood with the perspective of such examples like an automotive, for example. And one of my favorites is Mahindra Scorpio. So, we will go into the details of that narrative later on as well. There are lots of published stories how that particular product was conceived, and Mr. Pawan Goenka was strongly instrumental in bringing that product alive. He recently retired from Mahindra Automotives. So, and a very eminent marketer and a designer. So, how he and his team actually structured and designed almost everything around a successful automotive. So, conceiving, planning, developing Scorpio, testing it, launching it, delivering it, and not yet withdrawn, it is growing actually. So, now you see, toothpaste, for example, Dant Kanti came into being and actually overwhelmed the market. I remember there was a time whenever I used to talk to someone, have you used this toothpaste? People used to say yes. So, despite of so many options we have had, it was conceived well, the product was planned well, developed and tested and brought in, launched well and delivered to the customers. So, you see there are narratives. I would not go into specific details of how it was, how it happened. That is for the later part, because we must be talking about such stories to understand how it happened. But at this moment, just to introduce you, and till that time when I come back to you with those kind of stories, just go and surf on the websites and you would realize what we are referring to here. And then there are several withdrawn products, and I cautioned you earlier, I would never call them failures. They were not so well accepted by the consumers, customers somehow, because a match in terms of need and the product in the final form could not gel with each other. So, we have several examples around us, and you know about those better. So, just surf through those withdrawn products. I have already given you the linkages and references earlier as well. Now, one of the most important concepts associated with product, you see, the levels associated with customer value generation, and you see, these 5 levels constitute a customer value hierarchy. And this, these 5 circles wherein you can see, it is core benefit, basic product, expected product, augmented product and potential product. It actually is such an important description which must stay in the minds of a product manager all through his life basically, because you see, one must have his eyes on core benefits for a customer. You see, the core product or core benefit is the central most benefit or the reason or the purpose for which a consumer buys a product. Pencil is bought for writing, pen is bought for writing. You see, so the core product varies from purchases to purchaser, and this is you can find further details in American Marketing Association website. Now, the fundamental need or want that consumers satisfy by consuming the product or service, how is it done? By understanding the benefit of the product, behavior, performance. So, core products benefits ranges from tangible to intangible, and you can feel that and you can directly actually look at that and so on. So, keep the word purpose of the product in your mind. See, for example, a customer who buys an air ticket from an airlines is looking to fulfill his or her core need to travel from one destination to another destination, that is the fundamental. So, you have to fly from this place to that place, that is the core benefit you are looking for. Then comes in basic product. You see, when you say at least this should be there, that is what is basic product is. So, and you see, once we would be talking about product life cycle, pricing associated with that and how product becomes brand, then this concept would be very useful for us. When we would try to say that within the same product line there would be a differentiation between as far as the basic product and the potential product, and you can differentiate the target as well. I mentioned that when I was talking about product line, I remember. Please look into that video, and again that would resonate some thoughts in your minds. So, you see, basic product element is that these are the product elements that the customer will use to evaluate and make choices. The product features, quality level, brand name, styling, packaging, these become the means of evaluating alternatives for a customer. The marketer must turn the core benefit into a basic product, and remember the word, as in case of core benefits, the word was purpose. Here the word is at least this should be there in the product. So, carrying forward the same example, when you buy an airlines ticket to travel from this place to that place, so the at least the airlines must provide a hassle-free travel without any delay in travel time. Expecting precision in time, is it not basic? We can talk about that, and let us see what we find next. So, then comes in expected product. The marketer prepares an expected product, wherein a set of attributes and conditions buyers normally expect when they purchase the product. Expected product modifies the basic product or takes it towards a further kind of a stage, wherein at least moves towards an expression wherein this I expect actually. And the greater a company meets the expected product level, the sustainable is the brand of a company. Now, in developing and emerging markets, competition takes place mostly at this level, wherein marketers, they try to meet the expectations of the buyers. Again, the same example, the same very airlines you are looking at provides a few benefits such as comfortable waiting area, prompt in-flight service, clean washrooms and punctuality of the flight, which meets the expectation of the customer as always. So, living up to the expectations of the customer. Then comes in augmented product. Now, again it is beyond my expectation. wherein I feel happy about the product, and this is the statement. So, it you see this expression is changing from at least to what I expect to what it should be kind of. Now, it is the desire of the customer that the marketer convert into reality with the substantial cost customer is willing to pay, or a suitable cost alignment or a price alignment with as far as augmented products. Many a times marketers in tough competition era, they go for augmented product without any additional cost or price to the customer basically. Oh, I should not say cost, price to the customer. So, cost is from the marketer's side, and that we will realize when we will be talking about the price element. So do not get confused on this. Now, it is an expression when you say cost to the customer, but it is usually the price to the customer. Now, the marketer prepares an augmented product that exceeds customer expectations, differentiation arises and competition increasingly occurs on the basis of the product augmentation. A customer can reject a tangible product if they do not get expected services along in terms of beyond expectation. We have already talked about expected products. So, you see, a marketer deciding to augment his product should be aware of the total consumption system of buyers, that is identifying the way the user performs the tasks of getting, using, fixing and disposing of the product. Augmented benefits soon become expected benefits also, because customer gets used to that. You see, when you feel happy, you feel it should be and this is at least why I expect. This is what we call the expectations have risen now, because you are pulling up the benchmark, customer is getting used to those, and that is how augmentation in the product is actually gelling up with the expectation of the customer. So, for example, airlines is actually very precise in time always. So, it is not no more an augmented feature, it is an expected feature actually, and that is what you are marketing, that we are usually in time, or when you say that we are always in time, that is how the difference comes in when you raise your raise the expectation level of your customers. So, you see, and then augmentation can be in the form of product warranty, installation, free delivery, refund, updates, product trades and free samples and so on. And the same examples of the same example of the airlines which we were talking of, they may provide augmented benefits such as free meals, window seat, internet, in-flight entertainment and priority in security, checking and boarding and so on, and several kinds of and moreover nowadays many airlines as augmented element of the product, they are using best of the terminals also. So that is again a very important part. Then comes in potential product. You see, it encompasses all the possible augmentations and transformations the product or offering might undergo in the future. Here I have referred to an important term, offering, which I would be talking in terms of product management later on as well, but just to give you a glimpse that offering is largely which can be seen with reference to product, price, place, promotion cumulatively. What is offered in the form of a product, because price accompanies the product, where the place where you will find the product, the message associated with the product. So, offering is a bundle actually. So, that is where when you say product or offering, and here you must get to terms with that product must be seen with reference to offering later on, because when we will be talking about product planning, we will be focusing upon the product elements, but when we will be talking about market planning, we will be looking into product as offering, a bundle basically. So, then here companies search for new ways to satisfy customers and distinguish their offering product actually, and it is a promise that is attached to the product over time. And here you will find that we are using product and offering interchangeably, but remember offering is a wider term with context of product being a bundle wherein you cannot separate that from its price and distribution place and message. promise can be in the form of financial and aspirational perspective also, and the same airlines example wherein they can add potential in its offering, in their offerings, through free pickup and drop of customers from their places, hotel accommodation during long waiting hours, for example 4-5 hours, they have lounges, they have hotels, associated hotels in the nearby areas wherein they can give you free place or free rooms to stay by, and porter facilities and so on. So, I will be focusing upon the other aspects of, as far as the complete scenario associated with these 5 elements, just to add some aspect of understanding to you when we talk of core benefit to a potential product. Here there is one interesting aspect which one must notice, because we started our discussion from a product manager's responsibilities as explained by Professor Lehman. We must realize one thing: what is the desire of a product manager about his products? You see, the ultimate desire of a product manager can be seen with 2 perspectives. One, larger number of people use my product. It reaches to so many people actually. For example, you design a management program as a product. So, and although I refrain from looking at students as customers, but then still you look at management program as a product. So, your desire is to reach to the largest levels of audience. That is one. On the other side, you as a product manager would think in terms of taking it higher and higher in terms of perceived quality, satisfaction, loyalty it may gain. You may think in terms of adding so many things to it, which definitely would somehow put up a cost element to you, and then you will find that you can differentiate the product with reference to the cost you are incurring, and you may have 2 kinds of 3 kinds of people for similar kind of a product paying you different kinds of prices. So, wherein you would be charging premium for the augmentation you would introduce to the product, and you would be charging probably lesser premium for expected product, or you might not charge any premium for that. And core benefit product is related to every buyer can think of that. Does it rings any bell in your mind? Have you recently gone for trying to purchase an automotive, for example, and they have suggested you that this is the base model, then this is the next stage of the model, and this is the premium model? Have they categorized that in front of you? And that is precisely we are talking of. So, within one model you will find this kind of a differentiation, and if you will look at that with the perspective of a product line wherein you are addressing larger volumes of customers, then it is more interesting. And one last thing in this relation to what we are talking at this moment is that probably your journey as a product manager, starting from base product or basic product to expected to augmented product and to potential product, will enable you to change the market for yourself completely. That is, you introduce the product for a larger audience, and you kept on reducing the size of the market for yourself, or number of customers for yourself, and kept on reaching to a stage wherein you converted that particular product into a very high premium product, earning larger margins from a limited number of customers. That can also be done. How is it done? The same methodology, the same story. So, keep thinking about this. I will join you next time with lots of other insights. Till then, goodbye.